So, if I ask you guys for a slice of lemon, how are you delivering that slice of lemon? What is the shape?
I got you. There's only two right answers, right? It's either a wedge or it's
Slice.
A
like-
disc.
I don't know what you'd call it. Yeah, more like a disc. But I would even say I would never give you a full disc. It would probably be more of like a
Moon?
half of a disc is how I would. Yeah,
You'd give a-
half moon, but not wedge shaped. Yeah.
Oh yeah, half. Okay, so like more of, I think what you're saying your disc example is essentially what you'd get on like a glass of water at a place, and I would say, especially because of what I'm always cutting for Modelo's, a wedge would be probably my default at this point.
And again, the point being, if you asked for a slice, I would give you what I said initially. But if you said give me lemon or lime for Modelo, then yes, I would do a wedge. Or if it was for a taco, I would do it in wedges.
Yes, definitely
because they're
wedge.
easier to squeeze.
100%.
Easier to squeeze.
I think
yeah.
easier to squeeze for water too, and like I actually always like when I get a wedge as opposed to a little slice that's like slimy and flimsy. Mm-hmm.
Welcome to our Film Fathers podcast, the definitive podcast about fatherhood, film, and fatherhood in film. This is Jelani, and with me as always are a guy who went full native down in the jungle, and a guy trying to find a fuck to give. Martin and Brady.
You cannot go back to your normal life after tonight. Make no mistake about it. What we are about to do is criminal. We do not have the flag on our shoulders, and no amount of bullshit that we all tell ourselves is going to change that. If we do our job right, we'll be committing one murder and one armed robbery. You guys need to own the fact that you are desecrating most of the oaths you ever took.
Motherfucker, I am so far from seeing the fucking humor in this. Do you understand me? I don't trust you right now, and that's a fucking problem.
This week, we're diving into Triple Frontier and The Rip, two modern streaming action movies that prove sometimes the biggest risks don't happen on the battlefield. They happen after the mission is over. Over the last several years, Netflix has quietly built a lineup of gritty, star-driven action movies, stories about criminals, cops, and the messy gray areas in between. And right in the middle of a couple of those hard-hitting films is Ben Affleck, bringing his trademark mix of intensity, intelligence, and weariness to characters who are never as simple as good guy or bad guy. Both films throw Affleck into dangerous worlds where loyalty, greed, and survival collide, but they approach those ideas in very different ways. So what happens when highly trained professionals decide to break the rules? And why do these kinds of morally complicated action stories seem to fit Ben Affleck so well?
This was Jelani's idea, and a really good one, really good pairing.
Yeah, honestly, like,
You've been trying to get us to watch Triple Frontier forever.
for years.
Yeah, definitely been pushing the Triple Frontier front.
I'm
Frontier front?
Yeah, I've
Frontier,
multiple frontiers. I'm trying to come at all different angles, but I really liked Triple Frontier, and when I saw it, I was, first off, the cast is unbelievable. I don't know how. I mean, you couldn't make that cast. You couldn't get them together again today, could you?
I think you could.
It wasn't that long ago. You act like this is like from the 80s.
I think Pedro might be too big.
Yeah,
I mean,
see,
definitely
but-
Pedro is way bigger now, but like, I still don't think that it's crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was
I'm-
a little surprising to me because of Pedro, and I hadn't seen Brady. You'd seen it before, right? Or this isn't your first viewing.
I've
or
seen
is
it a couple times. You
Okay.
were the only one coming
Yeah, I
in
figured. I was the only one coming in new. So yeah, and I shouldn't be surprised that it was good. And also, because I also know you love Garrett Hedlund and Charlie. How do you say it?
Hunnam.
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 Hunnam in.
Yeah, Hunnam.
I think it's just Hunnam.
Hunnam.
Yeah.
It's Hunnam.
So like, and neither one of those are like, oh my god, I can't believe you got them. But I know you like those guys. So and they were cast
They're
well.
good
So yeah, it was
third,
just a
fourth
good,
bananas or whatever.
Yeah,
And they're like, assume, I think
agreed.
they get confused for each other, right?
I definitely could find him a little interchangeable. Garrett Hedlund is he in Four Brothers?
He
Is
is.
that what I really know him from?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why they
but
played
it was
brothers.
good. Yeah. It was definitely a solid action movie. I really can't ask for much more.
So
I
on
think-
the casting front, Jelani,
Yeah.
and you may or may not know this because you usually are looking at a lot of the same stuff that I am, but you had Ben Affleck and Oscar Isaac, but
Yeah.
initially it was in those roles. It was Tom Hardy and Channing Tatum.
Oof. Was Hardy going to be the Oscar Isaac guy?
Hardy was Affleck and Tatum was Affleck.
Oh. I could see that. Maybe. I don't know
So
if I can
in
trust
terms
Channing
of
Tatum.
that, bro. You guys can fight me on this all you want, but I'm right.
I'm
I'll tell
coming
you
more
what,
to the Brady
difference
camp.
between Channing and the difference between Channing Tatum and Oscar Isaac is one of them can act at all.
Yeah, I think Oscar did a lot in this role that I just don't think Tatum could have pulled off.
And they both have the he could be the having. I mean, it really is not even close in my opinion. When you're talking about the Oscar Isaac's like a ridiculously good actor.
Yeah.
I think. I felt that way for quite some time, but
Well-
when I saw that, and then I was like, okay, yeah, obviously the cast is always one of the strongest parts of this, and to have to have started with them. I mean, if I'm being honest, I'd probably take Hardy over Affleck. I'd probably go Tom Hardy and Oscar Isaac and feel like they probably would have been like a small upgrade. I really don't even have a problem with Affleck at all. But
Yeah.
but
But you give Hardy the slight edge.
yeah, I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I like Affleck. Good.
Yeah,
I just don't like him as Batman.
Let's not.
We're not denigrating Affleck.
Yeah, let's not put me in a camp over here. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
think-
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
Right.
Hardy. Yeah, Hardy's fucking great, man.
Yeah. And then we got Adria Arjona,
No
Arjona.
complaints.
I believe. I googled it, and that's how it's saying here. Adria Arjona.
When did you last see her?
I was thinking of Hitman, and I loved her in Hitman. Loved her in this. I mean, she's great.
Wait, Hitman? Oh, the new movie. Sorry.
Yeah, with Ben
I was
Powell.
thinking old school. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah,
It
she's
was
phenomenal in that.
we did it with that other one that he was in with Sydney Sweeney, and I remember saying him and Sydney Sweeney had zero chemistry, and him and
Adria.
ton of chemistry, and it made all the difference in that movie. I feel like
Yeah.
so.
Very much so.
And so she was apparently
She's
in
not-
6 episodes of True Detective as well.
Oh, which season?
And she's also in 6 Underground. Ryan
With
Reynolds.
Ryan
That's another Jelani movie. That's another Netflix. Yeah.
I watched it. It was forgettable in my opinion.
It was forgettable. I need to go back and watch it again, maybe, because I thought it was just a run of the mill. But that was also Michael Bay, wasn't it?
It was fine.
It was Michael Bay
maybe.
and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
yes,
it was
correct.
okay.
Michael
it wasn't
Bay.
as good as these two.
Yeah.
it wasn't as
I
good
don't
as Triple
remember
Frontier and
if
Rip.
there was any drone shots in that one, but that was Michael Bay. It's probably worth a revisit.
Yeah. The director of this was the guy who did Margin Call and A Most Violent
Which
Year.
we
Oh,
also
guy J.C.
did on
Chandler.
the pod.
And then
Do we have him
also
on the
the
pod?
executive. Has he been on? I'm sure we can get him, right? He's not doing anything. Also produced by Bigelow and Mark Bull from
Yeah.
of Zero Dark 30 fame. So, I think that's what I liked about it rewatching it this time was I forgot how much tension there was. It wasn't just like straight action. And it's not just it's even better when you think about so we always talk about this, right, Martin, is the competency porn, right? When they're like, all right, we got a plan, and Affleck's the brains behind the plan. He's like, let me look over it. He's like, I know you're going to want to, like, that's just how you are. And then they go through and they have a like full out plan. They know what they're going to do. And then when it starts to go sideways, just the fact that they're not just like spraying bullets everywhere. They're like, all right, take this guy out, take that guy out. We got this guy, we got that guy, we got this guy, we got that guy. Call him out.
Dump 500 pounds of money here.
Right.
That's the part that I liked. They just kept siphoning or leaving some of it behind here, some of it here, there, and then before you know it, it's pretty much all gone. It was an interesting. I'm trying to think of another. There was another movie that was a similar where you start with so much, and then you just lose it all at the end. But I can't think of what I'm thinking of.
Wasn't that the first Italian job? Didn't they lose all the gold at the end? And it like falls over the truck. The truck goes over the edge of the cliff.
Yeah. Well, he's left dangling, right? Are you talking about the original?
Yeah, the Michael
Caine. Yeah, and they just kind of end the movie with him dangling. But yeah, they lose. Yeah, that might be what I was thinking about. But I was thinking of something a little more modern as well.
Well, this isn't going to be that, but I didn't pick up on this. But when I read this, I was like, oh, that's funny. I probably should have, but the plot loosely follows the plot of the original 1960 Ocean's 11.
That's what it was.
Members of a military unit, finding civilian life challenging, they reunite to pull a heist. The heist is successful. They're hunted. One of their members dies. They ultimately lose the money, but then they give what they have left to the ex-wife family of their fallen comrade.
It's pretty close.
Sound familiar?
There you go.
Because we just watched that when we watched the Ocean's 11, right? We did them both, and
we did.
Yeah.
You said just like it happened.
It was a month or two ago.
It's all time's relative.
Is that episode coming out soon, or
time's a flat circle, as we talk about? True Detective.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I also thought it ended different. Like, I thought Charlie Hunnam was the only one that survived. I just misremembered that.
I thought there was more death, too.
Yeah.
In my brain, I had more death.
Yeah, I thought the team struggled a lot more. But, it was only Affleck who bought it.
What does the title refer to? What are the three frontiers?
I know this. I know this answer. Jelani, do you know it?
Is it the three places they had to fight? The house, the jungle, and the beach?
So
that's kind of what I was thinking. And that's what I watched a little bit of it with Colin. He watched the end of it, and he said something like that. He's like, "Oh, so this is the third frontier." I was like,
"So
yeah,
I would argue that it's fair. That I think it's fine that that checks those boxes. However, it might be more simple than that. Tres Fronteras, which is, you're not going to be surprised, means three frontiers.
Whoa. Is blowing my mind here.
Sorry if I articulated that too well.
Games without frontiers
is the Spanish name for an area of the Amazon rainforest in the upper Amazon region of South America.
Oh.
It includes and is named for the tri-point where the borders of Brazil, Peru, and Colombia meet.
All right.
Well, there you have it.
So I guess you're supposed to just know.
So it's kind of like Bermuda Triangle.
They're essentially in the Triple Frontier without ever having a clue that they're...
I'm going to go double meaning because it's like they did have like three distinct sections that they had to get through.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, actually, I had no idea what it meant. And when I read that, I'm like, well, I wasn't getting that. I don't know if that was supposed to be insinuated or everyone's supposed to have inherent knowledge of South America.
See, like watching this movie, and we'll get to the rip in a second, but it bothers me when when an action movie's just bad. Then because like these aren't great.
How hard is it to be good?
Yeah, how hard is it to just have some good actors, a solid story, maybe a little bit of predictability, but not full on predictable. Like you didn't know if more people were going to die. You didn't know if they were going to end up with any of the money. And then at the end you like that he has like the coordinates written out,
right?
Like just the cool little like, is he gonna go back, leaving it open, like Jelani, who was Jelani? You said
that
should always have a sequel.
No wonder
should always leave it open for a sequel. Yeah, because they leave that door open. And it's like, no, that doesn't need a sequel. It's just I like movies that end ambiguously, and it's like it's just not hard to do. So when you watch like a really bad, we did all three Equalizers, and the first one again good,
Yeah.
and then the other
I'd say
two are
good to
just
great.
yeah, good to great, and then the other two were just so bad. That's like how do you
I think
fuck it
Jelani
up?
and I don't agree with you on that, but
Oh yeah, I did not enjoy the second or the third one at all. They were to me just
I think
cash grabs.
they were less than, but I don't think bad was how I would describe them. Jelani, I could be wrong, but are you on board with that? While he desecrates your boy,
I think
I'm not desecrating Denzel.
in that franchise they got progressively worse.
I think that's
all I'm
fair,
saying.
but I
Yeah.
don't. I still think the first one's really, really good. So I think getting worse has got some.
Yeah, but I just never have to watch the third one again, and second one I don't remember really having any point to it either.
Pedro was in the second one.
yeah, Pedro's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wasn't great in
The
it. I don't
ending
think.
of the second one was rough.
Yeah.
Their
There you go.
battle on
In the rainstorm, in the
storm,
hurricane.
That's pretty bad.
You guys are agreeing with me.
And then the third one, you get Dakota back in his life. It's Man on Fire rekindling.
Right.
There's things to like.
All right. Fair enough. Agree to disagree.
But I think you're
Side
right,
note.
Martin. Yeah, like you can make a good action movie and it doesn't have to be terrible.
And, yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Well,
and
I mean that's fine, but that statement, it doesn't have to be terrible. Sure, I think most people don't think they're making a terrible movie, but
I know that, but I also feel like there's complacency just takes over, and they're just like, whatever, people will fucking watch it anyway, you know. And
always
it's true
wrong.
because we do. there's always some idiot dad centric podcast that'll watch these movies.
target audience.
Reached.
There was a fun fact before we get to the next one I wanted to hit. This was something that I hadn't really thought about, but there was a notation that it was the sixth time that Ben Affleck has died on screen. And so it got me wondering about who has died the most on screen. And does anybody know the answer to that question?
It's not
Sean Bean?
Bean,
It's not. And there was a notation.
and we're talking.
There was a notation about that. Like it, surprising to many, it's not literally not Sean.
Yeah, that's just the joke, and a lot of his were, the big one was TV as well. So I don't know if we're talking film only.
The leader in the clubhouse, it's movies, TV, and video games.
Oh,
But he's well ahead. So
Kenny from South Park.
it's Danny Trejo
Oh,
with 93 deaths across movies, TV, and video games. Other frequently dying actors include horror icon Christopher Lee, who is
Okay.
over 60 deaths. German
Vampire
actor
and
Udo
Count Dooku.
Kier,
Udo Kier, yeah.
76, and Lance Henriksen, 75. And
Bishop.
for women, Shelley Winters is tops with 25, followed by Miranda Richardson and Rose McGowan. So that's your funnest of fun facts in terms
Yeah,
of
that's-
death on screen.
that's something. That's for sure distinction. Who was number one again? I already forgot.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. All right. Yeah, Danny. I did. You definitely knew about Dan. I didn't know his name until probably like my 20s, but like I knew. I'm like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
That's a badass and in a
Yeah,
lot of
it looks
stuff.
terrifying.
Yeah, it looks terrifying. Exactly.
Not until after Con Air did I think I learned his name.
But good enough for him. For
Yeah, it's got
you know,
a nice little cameo in Heat. We did that. Like, he's all over.
From
it.
Dusk Till Dawn.
He dies way more than I guess I realized. But
and then he finally got his like starring role in
Badass.
Machete.
Oh, Machete. Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think
Yeah.
that's what I first remember him being like. Danny Trejo is Machete.
So, hiding money in the walls. It could be a good thing.
What do you smell that? It's paint.
Did you not like that, Martin? You didn't like that
It
reveal?
was fine. It was okay. It was fine.
I think it was. I liked watching Triple Frontier. A couple times. I liked that it isn't jumping out at you right away, right? Like they're in there and they're like, "What the hell? How is there not money all over?" And so it takes them a little while, and then they discover some, and they discover more, and they realize it's literally the entire house, and it's the wall. What is it? The house.
The house is the safe.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like, all right, they go nuts, right? There's so much.
Files are inside the computer.
Well, as I said, there's always money in the banana stand.
Always.
Yes.
And we see this trend again in The Rip.
Little less.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit different way, but the money is in the walls.
Yep.
And obviously, combining these two movies together, it wasn't hard to see the corollary there.
For sure. What did you guys think of The Rip? I watched it first, just because I was excited for another Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh, you
thing.
watched it first?
Yeah, I watched it before I watched Triple Frontier. Yeah,
you didn't watch it before me, brother.
And I've been trying to get. I don't know. We've been going through like '90s movies with the kids, just because I think it's my favorite decade.
So you struggling to find movies, or
so I'm like Good Will Hunting. I'm like, I think you guys are ready for it, and I finally got Brecklin to watch it. She didn't love it. I think she was a little young. We always talk about what the right age is. 12 and Good Will Hunting. Probably a little early, but I wanted to watch it again. It's just been a while, and I really enjoyed it. I wanted to see Robin Williams again and have a couple good cries. Mission accomplished. But then I was like, yeah, let's rip the Rip, and I thought it was also like I was impressed with it. Like same thing, like just didn't know where it was going. They kept you guessing as to who the bad guy, who the good guy, where it's coming, and it was a little confusing. Maybe did it all fully make? I think it fully made sense. Like I didn't have any big technicalities or problems with how the plot unfolded, and it seemed kind of unique to me. The only my one not detractor, but I saw like Matt Damon talking about it, and he was saying, it's like, yeah, these Netflix movies, the way the streamers are, they plan people to just put it on in the background. So it's like they write in the script that we have to say the Rip like 20 times. They're like, how big is the Rip? Are you getting the Rip? Who's got the Rip?
Yeah.
And it's like I did, but so before I watched it, I saw that, and I'm like, I was expecting it to be like annoying and like poorly
executed,
just have poor dialogue. Yeah, poorly executed, but it wasn't. It didn't seem overly obvious to me that they did that on purpose.
When I saw that interview after I saw it the first time, and it was in the back of my mind when I rewatched it, and I didn't notice it like at all. I mean, they definitely say it, right? Like the phrase is used, and it means something. So like it's fair, and maybe if you are hyper aware of it, it's like, okay, guys, you got to say it. But there's a reason why they're doing it, and I think as long as it doesn't feel like they're beating you over the head with it, it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
I have seen this movie three maybe, no, two for sure, but
it's not that old. How do you not know?
I saw it like the weekend it came out, right? Like this was one when I saw the trailer, I was optimistic that, as I want to be, and I think Jelani feels the same way. We want to think that one of these Netflix movies is going to like smack us across the face and be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this one's pretty good. I think, in my opinion, I think obviously it had a high bar with Affleck and Damon being associated with it. Mm-hmm. And I watched it that first week, and I was okay. That to me, that delivered on what I want out of this. To your earlier point, like it's not that hard to make a good movie. I don't want to say it's like great or it's like an all timer or anything like that, but I think it's pretty dang good. And watching it again, I think solidified that it's very rewatchable. And one that I could easily put on and not, I don't necessarily do that frequently, but I would have no problem if it was on, because there is a level of intensity to it that is, I think, one of those where you can jump in kind of at any time, especially if you've seen it, and be like, oh yeah, okay, like this is kind of a good little thing. There's a lot of that tension and good moments along the way where you should have no problem being able to jump right in and be happy about it.
Yeah. I think this was better than I expected. Like, again, Brady mentioned, seeing a movie pop up on Netflix, you're like, all right, I see you got a couple of good cast members, but can we...
Project Power.
Can we hold on to a decent script? And I will say that the intensity was there all the way through, like, very tense, like, showing up at the stash house, navigating the streets when they're like, it's all quiet, there's no cars. When Damon and Steve Yeun are walking, and you're just like, yeah, I wouldn't have him walking behind me, like,
right? You're like, dude, he's about to shoot him from behind.
Right?
Like, there's a lot of tension in that scene.
Yeah. And then
I also think like the way their misdirection through the entire Martin, I think you alluded to this, like their misdirection through the entire movie. You are we've also, sorry, I know we say this all the time, but like we always are looking for stuff like this. Like we're trained now to look for the catch and look for the gotcha and look for the, you're already looking down the road. We almost are missing what's right in front of us. I would say better than most I can think of in recent memory, do a phenomenal job of, you think you've got it figured out a couple times and you are wrong. And that's a hard thing to do, I feel like, because everyone's
except for
looking
Coach. Except for Coach. I knew Coach was going to take a heel turn. From the beginning, I was like, there's no way he's just this good guy on the up and up. But that was the only one. The other ones, I was in the dark about everybody else.
Well, I think, I think you pick up on... Sorry, John, I'll dive into something. I don't want to cut... You were saying something, as always, cut you off. Do you want to finish your thought?
So I was going to say that the fight in the garage told me that Damon and Affleck were running something. Like, when they started fighting, I'm like, all right, they're not as against each other's throats as you think they are. That was, like, the giveaway for me. And then the other one that I knew right off the bat was like, wow, there's so many phone books here. I'm like, all right. Phone books are going to come into play as a counter to the money. These bags are going to be full of phone books. Like, that was another one that I picked up on. The one that...
Right, you hated it.
The one that tricked me, or the way that it got me, was they didn't steal the money. Like, they weren't crooked. They were just trying to do their job. Nope. And that was...
getting a rip.
That was the crazy part. And I'm like, oh. So they just gave the $20 million back to the Treasury Department.
To the dollar. And I don't know if that was a PSA to people about claiming or having a right to like whatever percentage of finder's fee.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, go ahead and get into business. Get into bed with the cartel. It might pay off for you in the long run.
Going back to Triple Frontier for a second, there was a couple scenes where they were dragging like 3 or 4 bags of money where like it was nothing. They were just like empty bags. And there's just no way they had those things filled with phone, like 20 phone books or whatever, $20 million, because you just know it would be way heavier than it was.
Every single time I see a movie where they're stealing money, I think of the scene in Widows, and I'm like, at least you guys did it right. Like they put it, they go, this is gonna weigh 80 pounds. Can you move with 80 pounds on your back? Right. And they're like, they time her.
That tall blonde girl trying to carry it.
At least in the Rip, there was a couple scenes where like Tiana Taylor was trying to drag the money out, and she's literally like dragging the bag, and you're like, okay, that one might have had something. But then in the next scene, you see Damon just have like 2 of them on his arms, and you're like, all right, dude, come on, come on. That's supposed to be 160 pounds that you're just slinging over your back. Like, no.
Yeah. So you mentioned the quiet street, and I don't know if that's a thing that people is a real thing, or there's cartels that bought out cul-de-sacs or whatever the case may be.
It seemed very plausible to me.
I know, right? It really does. It takes you, and you're like, I see no reason this wouldn't be true, and it's very eerily quiet on the street. And I assume they're all vacants, and there's might be a sniper in each one of them. But the lights coming on, and like then you got the like SOS situation. I'm like, dude, like it was kind of interesting to me that something, and this is going to all tie into Martin's point earlier, like just try, right? Like make a little effort. Something so simple, a cul-de-sac, they made very suspenseful and very much was a focal point for an hour of that movie. You know, you talked about the Damon scene with you have Affleck rolling up. You have an actual shootout chase where guys are jumping off roofs. Like they crushed that. Like I really think this is a pretty good movie in general. And whether it's the Affleck Damon of it all, I'm not sure, but they I think they did a good job. And I've told a couple of people, like, you should definitely watch The Rip. Like, it's 100% worth your time.
I think part of it is, I think a lot of it, in my opinion, was the Affleck, Damon, and the rest of the cast. Because this movie, had this movie come out maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you know who gets the lead in this type of movie? Is the actor Scott Adkins that played Affleck's brother. He's the one that's leading this movie, and you're just like, all right. What? Go look up Scott Adkins.
What is he from?
He's an action movie star.
Yeah,
he's an action movie actor.
What do you mean? He's going to lead that over the Affleck, Damon, and Yoon?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think 5 years ago, this movie is made with him as the lead.
Did he ever lead a movie?
He's led a ton of movies, but they're all like the low budget, cheap action movies that we talk about. Like, they could be better. But now that we are in an age, where, you know, actors are moving to streamers and being part of this streaming community where they have to make those movies there, you get a better set of actors there. You get a better film. Because honestly, that's when I saw him.
I think they saved the better scripts for the better actors.
True. But like I said, 5 years ago, you're not getting Affleck and Damon in this movie. Well, it's a Scott Adkins movie.
5 years ago, he did the Intergalactic Adventures of Max Cloud. I think you're wrong on this.
He's in a movie called Triple Threat.
You're right that he's made bad movies, well. But I think I know what you're trying to say, but I don't think your point hits here, because this movie is, I don't think, necessarily going to some random B-C level actor.
I think
as like a lead.
Like I'm saying, I think they still read scripts, and right, like Affleck, and this is probably a cash grab for them. Like they probably made a lot of money on it, but they also are like, it's halfway decent too, because you know they know how to make good movies. So that's what I think is the difference maker. They just picked of all the scripts that, you know, get sent to them, they picked one that was actually decent.
This was based off a guy's like memoir or who had worked.
So there's some reality to it.
And he plays a bit part off, you know, one of the cops. But the right out of the gate, and it almost made me want to watch Miami Vice again. The setting of Miami at night with the lights, like it just over the water, the very like opening shot, I was like, God damn, that really hits well. Like it looks awesome. And
aren't they making a new movie?
I was just going to say they're remaking Miami Vice.
But do I owe it to Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell to rewatch Miami Vice? Who made that? Crow?
Man, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Michael Mann. Because he did the series. That's what he was famous for.
Was it so bad that it should never be watched again, or does it deserve?
Guys, I don't think I've seen it.
You've never seen Miami Vice?
I don't think I watched it.
It wasn't super good, but like
I know, but
it wasn't super bad either.
I can't remember.
Instead of just making like letting people, I think if you just let Fox and you know what, I think they were trying to serve too many masters there, and they like literally were trying to do Tubbs and Crockett. It's like, how about you just let Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx cook?
Guys, that movie is 20 years old. It came out in 2006. That's
No
insane.
way.
I would not have
It is
guessed
insane.
that.
It
I would have
took you
said
20
maybe
years
10
to
years
see it.
old.
Martin's gonna watch it
Yeah, I don't-
tonight.
I might, but it's 47% Rotten Tomatoes. That is not,
it-
and the
It
popcorn
wasn't
meter's even
strong.
less.
That's why I was thinking, is it that bad or do I? But anyway, Miami Plays as a
Yeah.
that was an awesome opening. Literally, just the
As a crime-ridden
it just
hellhole.
checks some boxes, and they brought Hialeah into it, which like pissed off the actual Hialeah police. I saw something where the Hialeah like mayor was like, "How dare they, like insinuate that we are filled with cartel and crime
Corrupt.
and all this?" And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You need to get right out of everybody's life.
So the end of the movie, when they're sitting and drinking their beers, are you sunset or sunrise people?
Oh well,
I don't get up
I would
early enough
argue
for
there's
sunrise.
No, that's a fucking easiest answer ever. But
So what is it?
I love
the
a
whole
good
point
sunset.
of
I'm a
his
sunset
dead
guy.
girlfriend was that she was lived to see the next sunrise.
But what are you? Are you a sunrise or sunset?
Wait, I was interpreting your question as like, what do you think that was? A sunrise or a sunset?
Oh, no. What do you prefer?
okay.
Sunrise
That's why
or
I was
sunset?
like, that's why I'm like, there's no doubt that was a sunrise. Like they were leading to that the entire movie.
Yeah.
I enjoy my life a lot more at sunset, I think.
Yeah, it's the start of good
definitely
things. It's
definitely
nighttime. You get to chill. You don't get to have a cocktail at a sunrise.
I mean, it's been done, but
I mean, unless you're on vacation
sure.
all the time, I guess. But why are you waking up that early if you're
Whatever
on
you need to
vacation?
justify it.
There's this guy. Did you? It was on Sunday morning. I want to say the guy that has been capturing every
I
sunset
saw that.
for
It's like in Michigan.
years. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
he's in
sunrise,
Michigan, I think.
sunrise, and yes, yep,
Up in
because
the
they do
UP?
it. They have amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep, amazing sunrises, amazing sunsets, and he says sunsets are too easy, and it's hard. It's much more of a commitment
It's
for
actually
the sunrise.
phenomenal.
But
too.
yeah,
That's a great- I love that it's happening. I love that it's captured. That segment was great.
yeah. What about you, Jelani?
Team sunrise.
Answer your.
I like to
Really?
get up there. Be early.
Oh yeah, because you love to golf and
Yeah, and you just be out when it's like the sun's coming up, you see it, and like it's the start of, fresh new
You
day.
can like sunrises.
your
without
kids are sleeping.
being anti-sunset.
I just feel like sunset's played out.
Yeah, bro.
Everybody gets
You
all
sit
like,
at a fire, sit around a fire, and watch the sun go down, and sip a tequila and smoke a cigar. You're not gonna be. That's not a better life, brother.
But yeah, I mean, it makes total sense, right? That Jelani's a sunrise person.
No, I think it was obvious from the beginning. But
Yeah, from the get. Yeah, pretty obvious that I'm not.
I'm up before the sunrise most days, and I do love a gorgeous visual of the sun rising, especially behind like the city skyline as if I'm rolling into the on the train into work. But no, one is
I like
superior to the other.
all celestial events.
I've heard that about you.
So yeah, if you haven't seen these two movies, they are much better than you'd think they would be. So definitely go check them out. Triple Frontier is a good one that I've always liked, and The Rip was very good. I like it better than I thought.
Yeah, I was just saying, Jelani, you've been so pro Triple Frontier, and you have the Rip out there now. Which one's better?
I think The Rip might be a better movie. I think Triple Frontier was more my speed. There was a little bit like that just didn't play as well in Triple Frontier that could have been acted a little bit better in my opinion. But so in that case, I think The Rip is a better acted film. But I do like Triple Frontier and the process behind it and what they were going for. So
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying there, right? Like for some reason I feel like I would rather rewatch Triple Frontier for some reason as an action movie because you kind of know where the Rip is going, and there's so much of it that's just like dialogue. So maybe like rewatchable Triple Frontier, but Rip might be a better movie. But you know, you don't have to compare.
Right.
It's only like, you know, award season is upon us, I suppose. But who really cares? You don't have to give awards. You could just say it's good to watch whatever you want to watch. Yeah, I've changed, guys. Fuck the Oscars.
Hashtag.
Yeah, right.
As always, I know everybody's got a fucking excuse. We're all working hard. It's a pod. Go out and fucking subscribe. Thanks, and go to bed.